Rivers are supposed to flow in one direction. That's one of nature's oldest rules. But one river breaks that rule twice a day, creating one of the rarest and most powerful natural phenomena on Earth. Rivers only flow one way, downhill toward the ocean. That's not an opinion, that's basically physics. Except somewhere in China, twice a day, an entire river changes its mind. A wall of water up to 30 feet tall comes charging in from the ocean and shoves the whole river backward. Not a metaphor. The water genuinely reverses direction. People have been watching this happen for over 2,000 years, and it's about to get weirder than that. This is called a tidal bore. Here's the recipe. You need a massive gap between high and low tide, a funnel-shaped river mouth, and a river current slow enough for the ocean to just overpower it. China's Qiantang River has the biggest one on Earth. Locals call it the Silver Dragon. Waves up to 9 meters tall, moving at 40 kilometers an hour, loud enough to hear before you see it. And this isn't new. Ancient writings describe this wave arriving so reliably, it kept better time than actual clocks. Only about 80 rivers on the entire planet can pull this off. This is one of the rarest things water does. Here's the part almost nobody mentions. Some historians believe a tidal bore on the Indus River caused serious damage to Alexander the Great's fleet during his campaign in India. An army that conquered half the known world, nearly taken down by a river changing its mind. And it's not always the tide doing this. In 1812, a massive earthquake hit the central United States. So powerful, it briefly made the Mississippi River flow backward. No moon, no tide, just the ground itself throwing a tantrum. Down in Brazil, the Amazon has its own version of this, called the Pororoca, and it's powerful enough to explain something you'd never expect. One of the biggest rivers on Earth doesn't have a delta. Normally, big rivers pile up sediment where they meet the ocean. The Amazon's bore is strong enough to blast that sediment straight out to sea before it can build up. A river reversing itself twice a month has been quietly reshaping the entire coastline for who knows how long. Here's the twist that turns this into something uncomfortable. Chicago didn't wait for nature to reverse a river. Over a century ago, engineers permanently flipped the Chicago River, so sewage would flow away from Lake Michigan instead of into it. It worked for 100 years. But now, during heavy rainfall, that same river has started reversing again, flowing back toward its original direction, the one engineers spent a century fighting against. We didn't defeat the river, we just paused it. And here's the ending nobody expects. France's Seine River used to have its own tidal bore. For centuries, it was strong enough to sink ships. Then came dams, canals, dredging, decades of quiet river management. The bore is gone now. Nobody planned to erase it. Nobody really noticed until it already had. An army nearly lost to a wave, an earthquake that flipped a river, a city still fighting a battle it thought it already won. The ocean doesn't ask the river which way it should flow. Every so often, it just decides for it. If you enjoyed this story, like, subscribe, and join us for more fascinating stories from our incredible world.